New video from the Navy shows what may be the future of modern close-in warfare.
Laser weapon that can shoot down airborne targets more than 2 kilometers away.
Laser-based weapons, once seen as something out of a science fiction novel, are now a real option on the agenda of various militaries. Yes, you have not heard wrong. Laser beam weapons, which can also be used as guided weapons, combine with today's technology. The United States Navy's recent tests of a new generation of directed energy weapons have fueled excitement about this technology. Imagine a warship that, with just a single beam, can incinerate a fast-approaching unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, in a short time. It sounds almost unimaginable, but the latest demonstration of the Helios laser weapon has made just that possible. In a trial that was the culmination of a £100 million investment to date, the United Kingdom was one of the leading countries in the race to develop and deploy what are known in military parlance as directed energy weapons. While the technology is not yet mature, the United States has begun to deploy early laser weapons on many of its naval destroyers and to test land and air-based versions as the UK has invested. Over time, the United States has come to the forefront of laser weapons. In fact, in recent times, there have been reports that the United States has actually tested laser weapons. It was claimed that the laser weapon tested by the U.S. instantly burned a drone and turned it into a fireball. Now, we are going to discover all the details of this news and take a closer look at how the U.S. has turned the laser weapons technology that other countries dream of into reality. But first, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and give us a like to stay up to date with our content. Let's get started. It has emerged that a high-powered laser weapon was test-fired at a drone target from one of the U.S. Navy's warships. The photo of the laser weapon in action was published as part of a report by the Office of the Director of Operational Test and Evaluation, which advises the U.S. Department of Defense on weapon systems. The black and white photo shows a bright laser beam fired from a naval destroyer, the USS Preble, during an at-sea demonstration to verify and validate the functionality, performance, and capability of Helios against a drone. The details known about the USS Preble, where Helios was deployed, were critical in clarifying some of the details of where this laser weapon test was conducted. When the destroyer USS Preble arrived in Yokosuka, Japan, from San Diego, California, in October of last year, it completed a home port change and joined a destroyer Squadron 15, supporting the defense of allied Japan and protecting U.S. strategic interests. A few days after the USS Preble sailed from San Diego to Yokosuka, it allegedly participated in 32 countermeasure tests conducted in fiscal year 2024, which ended on September 30 last year. The USS Preble was seen leaving Yokosuka on January 13th and returned the following days. Photos released by the U.S. Navy showed the USS Preble sailing in the North Pacific Ocean, the Philippine Sea, and the East China Sea at the time. The place where the Helios laser weapon was tested is estimated to be the area where the USS Preble was last deployed. However, U.S. CENTCOM did not share a clear assessment on this issue. The only known fact is that Helios was last tested from USS Preble. The USS Preble is the only U.S. destroyer equipped with a high-energy laser weapon called the High Energy Laser with integrated optical dazzle and surveillance. It is therefore the only member of the U.S. Navy to have conducted all of its laser weapon trials. The situation in which Helios destroyed a drone in mid-air with a single beam was far more important than where this weapon was tested. With this laser beam weapon, the United States has started a new process. This innovation was not good news for the U.S.'s rivals, China, Russia, and North Korea. The Helios laser weapon is likely to keep the Far Eastern Group Alliance busy for a long time. So what exactly is known about the features of this Helios laser weapon, which the Eastern Alliance will follow with concern? Helios, the high-energy laser and integrated optical dazzle and surveillance weapon, is a weapon system developed by Lockheed Martin that can engage targets at the speed of light. The USS Preble's 60-kilowatt laser weapon can work as a dazzler to blind intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance sensors mounted on unmanned aerial vehicles. Moreover, Helios can provide long-range surveillance and reconnaissance capability for combat identification and combat damage assessment. The laser uses energy fired at the speed of light, which can cost less per shot, and has virtually unlimited firepower compared to traditional defensive ship-based weapons, such as missiles. This makes Helios an ideal option for countering relatively low-cost drones. Developer officials have also made important statements about the laser weapon, shedding further light on Helios's capabilities. Lockheed Martin, the U.S. defense contractor developing Helios, said in a press release that the laser weapon deters future threats and provides additional protection to mariners by increasing the effectiveness of the ship's overall combat system. But the most critical aspect of Helios is the possibility that the U.S. could use this laser weapon in the Pacific or other strategic maritime areas. It remains to be seen whether other Japan-based U.S. destroyers will deploy Helios, as China has sent military drones to Japanese islands in the East China Sea. On the other hand, in addition to the United States, the United Kingdom is also developing its own laser-based defense system. Last year, the UK successfully tested its high-powered Dragonfire laser weapon against air targets. Dragonfire's range is classified, but the UK Ministry of Defence said in a press release in January 2024 that the line-of-sight weapon could interact with any visible target with an accuracy equivalent to hitting a coin from a kilometer away. Likewise, Israel is known to have developed some laser weapons. Israel has sought to accelerate the development of its own Iron Beam laser weapon to help shoot down incoming rockets and drones, and to augment the kinetic interceptors of its Iron Dome missile defense system. China, Russia, France, India, Turkey, Iran, South Korea, Japan, and others are investing in their own national programs with varying degrees of progress. But as we have seen, it is the United States that has taken the most dramatic step in this regard with the Helios laser weapon. So why is there a need for these laser weapons, which many countries are investing incredible budgets in, and what is the historical background of such systems? Electronic warfare has been a growing feature of modern conflict for more than a century. Since the advent of radio and the subsequent development of radar, militaries have utilized different frequencies for communication and intelligence gathering. Lasers are just one type of directed energy weapon, a broad category that encompasses efforts to harness and weaponize different parts of the electromagnetic spectrum. Low-energy lasers have similarly been used for ranging and targeting, allowing precision weapons to be directed at a target by forces on the ground and reducing the risk of friendly fire or civilian casualties. In the constant race between preemption and countermeasures, military forces have also developed jammers, spoofing tools, and other increasingly sophisticated means to conduct electronic attacks or use electronic countermeasures to gain battlefield advantage. Armies and societies have also recognized the potential threat from electromagnetic pulses, such as those generated through high-altitude detonations of a nuclear warhead. A directed energy weapon has fortunately not yet been used in warfare because they indiscriminately damage all unprotected electronics in the target area and can be mistaken for a nuclear exchange, thus risking dangerous escalation. Building on these trends, technology programs have sought to make directed energy weapons a reality. In the 1980s, the Reagan administration tried to develop more powerful lasers to defend the U.S. against Soviet missiles as part of the Strategic Defense Initiative. Ultimately, this did not work. It was another costly and unsuccessful effort, often derisively referred to as Star Wars. Yet, After decades of global rollout of low-power devices, recent years have seen increased military investment and technological advances in high-energy lasers and high-power radio frequency, or microwave systems. These categories